Shalom, welcome to Rob on the Rock. I'm Rob Van Hoff, and today I wanted to make just a short video commenting on a really great interview that Jordan Peterson did with author and podcaster Eric Metaxas, who is a believer in Yeshua. He's Greek ethnically, and there's a place in the interview where he talks about the symbol, the fish symbol, ichthys, that you've seen probably on a car, bumper sticker or something like that. But he makes a mistake with the Greek. And I just thought, not because I'm trying to be mean or overly critical, but I just thought, you know what, let's just go back and let's just clean that up. One of the early attestations we have of this fish symbol serving as an acronym, that is the word ichthys being each letter of the word representing a statement about Yeshua, is recorded for us by St. Augustine himself in the early 400s in his book, City of God book. You can see it online. This is the Low Classic Library. It's available online. This is book 18. And you can see here you have the Latin in the left column and the English translation in the right column. But all we're looking at here is where he actually, the text has the Greek here, as you see. And he says, if you combine the initial letters of the 5 Greek words, right, that's what he says here, and then in Greek, and we'll look through each of these here, where it says Jesus, Christos. Now there's a alternative spelling of Christ, Christos, Deu huios soter, and the translator has it right. That is in Latin, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the Savior. Makes the word ichthys in Greek. It has to be in Greek. It doesn't. The acronym doesn't work in Latin. And Augustine is just making this point that there is the word fish in Greek that has been used. He's not inventing this acronym, but he's received it from earlier tradition. We don't know how old the acronym actually goes, but at least we know early 400s, Augustine is aware of it. Now, so this is a basic knowledge, and what I want to do is play a little clip from that interview so you can hear how Eric Metaxas represents that acronym. And because he's Greek and he's presented himself as Greek, son of Greek immigrants, was raised in the Greek Orthodox Church, that this is not a mean, critical thing I'm trying to do here. Very respectfully want to just offer this correction. I would want somebody to do the same for me. As a matter of fact, people have done the same for me when I misspeak or I have some information that's wrong or incorrect. I'm happy to hear that and be corrected and get that straight. That's all I'm trying to do here. So this is, he's in the middle of talking about this dream of his conversion, which is, if you want to listen to that, you can watch the video, the link's below. But what we're doing here is just listening to how he represents this acronym. And I've got the dry erase board here. Well, we can go through it. But let's listen to Eric Metaxas being interviewed by Jordan Peterson.
Grew up as the son of immigrants. My father from Greece, very, like most Greeks, inordinately proud of being Greek and wanting to raise his kids in that tradition. And so that was a very important part of my growing up, that I am Greek, that that this is my identity. Once my father, we were at a light. I mean, I still drive there today. And at this light, we saw the car in front of us on the bumper that had one of those, chrome fish. This is in the 70s. And my father says, do you know what that is? And he explains to me that that's the Greek word for fish is ichthys, and it's spelled it's an acronym. Well, the word is ichthys. So, but the early Christians adopted that symbol of the fish as a symbol of the Christian faith, because the word fish is an acronym for Isus Christos Theos Imon Sotir.
Okay. So he said, Jesus Christos Theos Himon Soter. And so I'll write out what Eric said here. If we were to write that in Greek, we would say Jesus, like this. Now I'm going to use the traditional spelling of Christos here, even though Augustine, he spells it with epsilon iota. I'm just going straight to the iota here. Theos. And then he says hemon. And then soter, like this. Now, the word is actually this. It's iota, chi, so ich, theta, and then upsilon, sigma. So that's the actual word, ichthys, which is fish. But notice he says a word here. He says himon and he says theos. So we're going to note both these things. But the spelling would be with an upsilon, although what he says is himon, which if maybe you might think I misheard him, it's confirmed by his translation that he gives here. So here's his translation.
Jesus Christ, the Son of God, our Savior.
So Jesus Christ, the Son of God, our Savior. So his English understanding of that is Jesus, right? Christ. And then he fits in here a Son of God. And then our Savior. And certainly, himon soter is our Savior. So, but what he doesn't do with his Greek, he never gives us a word for son, and he never gives us a word for of God. He gives us the word theos, which just means God in the nominative case, but not of God. So let's let him go a little longer here.
So they used the symbol of the fish because to them, the symbol of the fish meant ichthys, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, our Savior. So it's the secret symbol of the Christians. And my father was, thrilled to tell me that's a Greek word and that's where that comes from. And so I always associated that fish with Christ after I saw that.
Okay, so that's it. So he says it twice. He says his English understanding twice. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, our Savior. And he says himon, which is this word here is our. So again, I'm not mad at Eric Metaxas or anything like that. This is done in love and the desire for clarity and precision, which again, I appreciate clarity and precision. I want to have that myself. And so other people can, help me acquire and obtain a sharper understanding by giving me this similar kind of feedback. I'm happy for that. So I'm not trying to criticize him, okay, and overall, but just on this point, the way his understanding would be actually a misspelling of the word, because it would be, if I would just go over to the left side here and just write, so if you'd have your iota, your chi, your theta, and then you'd have an eta sigma. That's not the word fish. This word here needs to be an upsilon. Remember, the word is actually iota, chi, theta, upsilon, sigma. So his English translation is somewhat right, but his Greek understanding of the acronym is incorrect. And so the one on the left here is the one Eric Metaxas has. What we actually want it to be is the same here. It would be, I'll do it fully in green. So it's going to be the same up here, right? Jesus, that's the nominative for Yeshua. Christos. Then, if we look to Augustine, we're going to see this is theou, like that. Theou, which is the genitive of God. And then here, it's going to be huios. Huios is son, not our. And then finally, soter, which means savior. So the proper acronym that gives us the spelling ichthys, which is fish, and gives us the meaning that Augustine records, Jesus Christ, Son of God, theouhuios, which means of God, the Son. And in Greek, it's okay. You can put the genitive in front like that. That's not a violation of word order, even though in English we wouldn't do that. And then soter is also the nominative. So the correct form is we have 4 nominatives, that is Jesus, all signified by the sigma at the end. Jesus, Christos, huios, these are all nominative. Of course, soter is a third declension noun. It doesn't end in a sigma like the others, but it's still nominative. And then we have theou, which is genitive, of God. Yeshua, the Messiah, the Son of God, Savior. That's the proper understanding. It accomplishes the proper spelling of the word ichthys, and it is the same thing that Augustine preserves for us. So again, this is not a nasty gram or anything of the sort, but just a situation where you have someone who proudly represents Greek culture in America, has come to faith in Yeshua, and is even talking about a meaningful image of this fish early in his childhood with his relationship with his father, also significant in this particular dream, wherein he says that he comes to accept Jesus as his Savior, where the fish is part of this, and his understanding is that this Greek word ichthys is behind it. So all of that is fine. It's just that we want to look, if we're gonna quote Greek, if we're gonna quote the Bible in an original language, or we're gonna give this kind of information that pertains to Bible language, we want to be accurate. And that's my desire here. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. All right. Shalom.